guys, it's Alexis, aka the Soft Reader, and I'm here today to do my September TBR. A word of caution about this TBR, it's very big. It's very overly ambitious. You can't tell from the thumbnail because most of the books that I'm going to try and read in September are e-arcs that I've received either from NetGalley or Edelweiss. It's scary, especially given how poorly August went, which you will see coming soon. So there's a lot of books, but I randomly got approved for a ton of September and October releases, so I want to push myself to try and read all of these before their release date, which means in September I have a stupid amount of books I'm planning to read. So, the first two I'm going to mention are actually not arcs. These are just books that were on my top to read list that I posted at the beginning of the year that I haven't gotten to, and so I really would like to try and get to them this month. The first being The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is a pretty big book, and I've heard that it can be kind of difficult to get through, but I've had this book on my TBR since it first came out, and I wanted to read it this year, and I've been kind of waiting for fall because to me it always seemed like a fall type of book, so I've just been waiting for that period to come around so I could finally read it. So yes, this is the perfect time for me to finally pick it up. I'd like to try and fit it in this month if I can. If not, I won't sweat about it, but I would like to get to it. The other one I'm going to mention is Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi. This is the second book in the Shatter Me trilogy. I wanted to read the Shatter Me trilogy this year. I read the first book a couple months ago, and so I want to continue on. I actually have the audiobook for this one, so that's why I'm pretty confident I can still get this one read in September if I dedicate my audiobook time to it. So I'm planning to listen to this one on audiobook, so I think I can make it happen. Now, to go through all of the arcs I have, I'm going to start in publication order. The first one being One Dark Throne by Kendar Blake. This comes out on September 19th. My most anticipated release for the second half of the year, so I'm really excited. I know that I can get through this one and it won't be a problem just because that's how I treated the first book, so I'm really excited to read this one. This will probably be the one I'll kick off September with because I know I'll be able to get through it. So obviously this is the sequel to Three Dark Crowns, one of my favorite books of last year. It's about these three princesses who have to fight to the death to be queen of this island. So I've got high hopes for the sequel. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint me. The next one I'm going to mention is Invictus by Ryan Groudon. This was actually on my TBR for August, but I didn't get to it in August. So I'm hoping to get to this one. I believe it comes out on September 26th or September 19th. I can't remember one of those days, but I would like to read it before then. It's about our main character who exists outside of the time stream. And about like the, I don't know, trouble he gets into. Not my typical type of book that I would reach for, but I would like to get into Ryan Groudon, so this will be my first work by them. The next ones I'm going to mention actually are all October releases, but they all come out in like the first 2 weeks in October, so I would like to spend my time in September getting to these. The first one being Top 10 by Katie Cotugno. This is about two friends who are about to graduate high school and they're about to kind of go on different paths in their lives, and so they decide to make a top 10 list of like their greatest hits, so their best memories together. I've never read a book by Katie Cotugno either, so I'm excited to get to this one. I think definitely the contemporary too will help to break up a lot of the other genre heavy books that I've got in this mass chunk, so I'm excited to get to this one. The next one is The Hanging Girl by Eileen Cook, which also comes out on October 3rd. I don't fully remember what this one is about. I know it's about this girl who gets caught up in like a murder mystery, but definitely sounds like it's good to kind of start setting up for the spooky season. So yes, so I'll be trying to read this one this month as well. The next one I'm going to mention is Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. This is basically about a bunch of siblings who are all from the same family, but they all grew up in different homes due to like the foster care system, and it's basically about them all kind of getting to know each other years later as they kind of all decide to search for their biological siblings, and so it's about them discovering themselves while also kind of discovering like their genetics when they meet their other siblings. It sounds really, really interesting, and I definitely am intrigued to see how this one goes. Sorry, I know I'm getting through these really fast, but like a lot of these I honestly can't fully remember what the plot is. And I'm like so anxious that I have to get through so many books in September because I've utterly failed in August, so like I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get through these. The next one is Grey Wolf Island, and forgive me, I don't remember the author of this one, but I believe this one is about a bunch of friends who go to this mysterious island and bad things start to happen. I remember when I requested it, it kind of gave me like And Then There Were None vibes, so I think that's what that one's about. I'm not sure. The next one I'm going to mention is This Darkness Mine by Mindy McGinnis. You guys know I've read quite a few of Mindy McGinnis's books in the past, and so this one is like a thriller about this girl who discovers that she's having memories of places that she doesn't think she's ever been to, and she's having these interactions with people she swears she's never met before. And it's basically about her trying to figure out where these memories are coming from. So yes, super interested. I've heard this one is really weird, so I'll be intrigued to see just how weird it gets. The next one is one of my most anticipated releases for the year, and that is The Memory Trees by Callie Wallace. You guys know Callie Wallace's first novel, Shallow Graves, was one of my favorite books of last year, so I have very high hopes for The Memory Trees. The Memory Trees basically tells the story of a young girl and kind of the relationship she has with her family and this forest. And yeah, I kind of have avoided the synopsis on Goodreads because it's really long, and I'm like, that scares me that way too much information is going to be given away. So I would also like to get to this one sometime in September. The final arc I would like to get to in September is Retribution Rails by Erin Bowman. This of course is the companion to Vengeance Road, which was one of my favorite books of last year. This one actually doesn't come out until I think the second week in November. But I've had this book since May, and I had said I wanted to read it in September when I first got it, and honestly, I still want to do that. I don't really want to have to wait like another month to pick this one up because I'm just so excited about it. So yes, so I'm going to try and push myself to read this one in September as well. Alright guys, I know I got through that one super fast, but it's super late at night when I'm filming this, and I'm tired. And looking at all of the arcs I have to read in the next 2 months is giving me a mild panic attack. So I just kind of wanted to get through them and get them over with. You guys should let me know down below what you are planning to read in September, or if you have read any of these and you want to talk to me about them, or if you're super excited for any of these books and you're like, hey, I'd like to get a review when you're done with that. I'd love to know that as well. And I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!